Hey, welcome back to All About That Disney Life. I am Danny B, the girl who is all about that Disney life. We now start on this new category of giving facts to Disney Channel original TV series that I have seen as a kid and as a teenager. So the first one that we are starting off with is The New Adventures of Winnie the Pooh. That came out in 1988 and it ended in 1991. So let's get to know this cast. Jim Cummings was Winnie the Pooh, and he also voiced Tigger for seasons 3 and 4. John Fiedler was Piglet. Paul Winchell voiced Tigger for the first 2 seasons. Ken Sampson was Rabbit. Michael Goh was Gopher. Peter Cullen was Eeyore. Hal Smith was Owl. Tom Hoskins was Christopher Robin. Nicholas Melody was Roo, and Patricia Paris was Kanga. Now we move on to the facts all about the new adventures of Winnie the Pooh. Number 1, the origin. The idea for a TV series was first discussed all the way back in 1957. NBC suggested Jay Ward undertake the pilot, then titled The World of Winnie the Pooh, with an option for 39 episodes. Some songs and bits of dialogue were recorded, but the project was ultimately abandoned. In 1961, Walt Disney purchased the film rights to make an animated movie starring the characters. He subsequently produced a series of 3 short featurettes throughout the late 1960s and early 1970s, beginning with Winnie the Pooh and the Honey Tree that came out in 1966. Disney had also aired a variety show with the characters that used electronically controlled puppetry and life-size costume titled Welcome to Pooh Corner. This became the highest-rated program on the Disney Channel. The original featurettes also proved popular, with video sales topping the charts in 1986 and 1987. Number 2, the development. An animated cartoon starring the characters was first proposed by Walt Disney Television Animation Vice President Gary Krischel during a Disney retreat in which company assets and future prospects were examined. He believed the merchandising license held at that time by Sears would work as a great promotional tool. Mark Zaslav was contacted to write the series Bible. He had recently finished work on the DuckTales pilot episode. The document was written over Memorial Day weekend of 1987, with Zaslav having only 3 days to complete the proposal. The pitch was well received by Disney and subsequently greenlit. Instead of pitching Winnie the Pooh around to different networks, the show was pitched directly to ABC. The channel had desperately wanted a cartoon from Disney for their Saturday morning schedule, which had fallen to last place in the ratings. They had hoped Pooh could boost ratings for the channel. 2 years earlier, Michael Eisner and Krischel had set up meetings with all 3 major networks in hopes to sell their other 2 cartoon series, Disney's Wuzzles and Adventures of the Gummy Bears. Realizing they had nothing left to offer ABC, Eisner and Krischel met with them anyway and received a warm response to the gaffe. A deal was reached giving ABC the show while giving first run rights to the Disney Channel. The show was officially announced via a press release on November 15th, 1987. It would mark the first time a prominent Disney character was seen on Saturday morning television. The series was viewed as a gamble, with people unsure if Pooh would survive on the new medium. At the time, Saturday morning cartoons were viewed as a place with dry, repetitive storylines, shallow characters, cliched narratives, and cheap animation. As a result, animation fans greeted Disney's plans to adapt A.A. Milne and E.H. Shepard's childhood favorite to the small screen with a mixture of skepticism and dismay, fearing the show would not top the original featurettes. Number 3, the production. ABC eagerly commissioned 25 half-hour episodes of The New Adventures of Winnie the Pooh for its first season rather than the standard 13 to 17. Carl Gers developed the series, which took many months. At the time, Walt Disney Television Animation had only 80 employees and 2 projects in production. The department did not yet have in-house facilities built, so employees worked out of the Academy of Television Arts and Sciences building. The writing process began with story premises being pitched to Zaslow, who served as story editor for the first season. The best ones were selected and sent to ABC executives for approval, followed by story outlines and scripts. The process took around 4 weeks per episode. The crew were big fans of Milne's work, constantly checking their work against published Pooh books in order to stay true to the original sense of Milne. Special attention was given to maintain the personalities of the characters as they had originally been written. The cartoon attempted to have the right balance of both action-adventure sequences and moments of whimsy. The writing staff hoped to channel the spirit of the Walt Disney shorts of the 1940s drawing inspiration from artists Jack Hanna, Ward Kimball, and Jack and Dick Kinney. Like most other cartoons, the animation was outsourced to other countries. This was mainly done for cost purposes and the limited availability of artists in the United States. All the writing, music, direction, character design, and color was worked by around 30 Disney employees in Hollywood. After this, everything was sent overseas for the animation. Approximately 300 employees would work on inking and printing. An unusually high number of animation cells were used for the show, with 20,000 cells in each episode as opposed to about 8,000 to 12,000 for typical cartoons. The show had more drawings per minute than any other television cartoon at the time. After the animation was completed, the production reels were sent back to the United States where music and sound effects were added. The show's theme song, entitled Pooh Bear, was written by Steve Nelson and sung by Steve Wood. Nelson also composed several additional songs that were shown in the early episodes. The show's underscore was composed by Tom Sharp. An orchestra was used to record the music using instruments such as trumpets, woodwinds, and a full string section. The composers were given the unique opportunity to examine the animators' exposure sheets, enabling them to write music while an episode was being scripted. Number 4, the casting. The producers actively sought out the surviving original voice cast, which had been used in the 1960s featurettes. Sterling Holloway, the original voice of Winnie the Pooh, read for the part, but he had aged to the point where he could no longer do the voice successfully. A casting call was held, and Jim Cummings was selected as his replacement, a role he has continued with to this present day. Paul Winchell, John Fiedler, and Hal Smith, the original voices of Tigger, Piglet, and Owl, returned for the series. Throughout the series, Winchell voiced Tigger in the first 2 seasons and select episodes of the 3rd season before Jim Cummings took over the role. When Cummings took over, Winchell said, "Take care of my little friend for me." Most of the recording sessions occurred at B&B Sound in Burbank, California. Advanced technology allowed for the actors to record their roles without having to be in the same room. Number 5, the promotion. In the 3 weeks leading up to its debut, ABC began airing promotionals for the cartoon during primetime hours. This was seen as a very unusual occurrence. Part of the reason this was done was to fill airtime, as the 1988 Writers Guild of America strike had caused production to be halted on primetime television shows. Advertisements for the new adventures of Winnie the Pooh were played during adult shows such as 30-something and Moonlighting, using the tagline, "Now you can share your childhood heroes with your children." A television commercial that aired during the ABC Sunday Night Movie on September 4th, 1988, used the tagline, "Before taxes, before puberty, there was childhood and Winnie the Pooh." The evening before the show made its broadcast debut, ABC aired a 30-minute Saturday morning preview show featuring Winnie the Pooh and other debuting cartoons, like The New Adventures of Beanie and Cecil, and a pup named Scooby-Doo. Sears and Roebuck and Honey Nut Cheerios partnered to host a nationwide premiere party to celebrate the series coming to ABC. Over 300 Sears stores across the country participated in the breakfast, which doubled as a charity event. The first episode was telecast on in-store video displays. More than 40,000 children attended the event. Some stores had Winnie the Pooh characters show up in costume. Sears also dedicated 8 pages of their Christmas catalog to the series. Number 6, the broadcast history. During the late 1980s, a debate emerged inside Disney about whether original programs should be aired on the Disney Channel or outsourced to other channels. Some executives felt there was nothing more important than the Disney Channel. Others, such as Gary Krischel, disagreed, feeling they risked losing a generation of TV viewers who did not have cable. In the end, a compromise was reached with Disney Channel President John F. Cook, who agreed to pay Krischel's division a certain price if he could get first-run rights. The show premiered on the Disney Channel on January 17, 1988. 13 episodes aired at 8:30 a.m. on weekends. The show's run ended that July. The show then moved to Saturday morning on ABC, where it aired for a full hour from 8:30 to 9:30 a.m. For the second season, the show was cut back to 30 minutes to make room for new shows. New episodes intermixed with reruns returned for a 3rd season in the fall of 1990. The show returned for a 4th season on September 7th, 1991. The show was not renewed the following year. After the series ended, the crew produced Winnie the Pooh and Christmas 2, a primetime spin-off of the show. Despite production ending the year before, reruns of the show continued on ABC's fall schedule for the 1992-93 season. By the following year, the show was dropped altogether by ABC and sold in syndication. Executives felt the show could make more money selling directly to television stations rather than accepting ABC's license fee. The show returned on ABC in late 1995 when reruns of the program replaced The New Adventures of Madeline and continued until September 7, 2002. The Disney Channel began airing reruns of the series on October 3, 1994 in the United States. The show also began airing in the channel's preschool block Playhouse Disney when the block launched on April 1, 1997. These continued until September 1, 2006, at which point it was taken off the channel's schedule. Playhouse Disney, on the other hand, ran it until August 1, 2006, 1 month before Disney Channel ended its run. It was also shown on Toon Disney, first airing on April 18, 1998, and ran until October 19, 2007. After Toon Disney's final run of the series, the show hasn't been seen in the United States since then. Number 7, the setting. For this adaptation, the show underwent an Americanization. The setting was changed from native England to contemporary America. The series depicted Christopher Robin as a typical 1980s kid rather than a 1920s British kid. He is shown living in a suburban house with his mom and no longer had an English accent. His mischievous imagination drew comparisons to Calvin from Calvin and Hobbes as opposed to Mill's original interpretation. Additionally, the show did not use a narrator or the storybook theme. Although the show still used the 100-acre wood as its main setting, several episodes took place in other locations. The characters occasionally traveled to the adjacent town, going to a grocery store, or a movie theater. The approach to episodes was to put more emphasis on adventure, yet keep the integrity of Mill's characters. The dialogue was updated to make the show more relatable to the generation at the time. Number 8, themes. The show's main theme revolved around the complications and misunderstandings that often arose between the characters and their eventual return to normalcy. The staff was also very conscious of their older viewers and would always aim for a sensibility that would appeal to them as well. Unlike previous adaptations of Winnie the Pooh, the stories were for the most part not based on chapters from A.A. Mill's books. The writers made a point of not copying from Mill, but instead drawing the essence of him for the modern day, keeping the same charm and style as the original stories. The main storylines typically derived from the characters and their relationships to each other. Episode plots ranged from the simple, such as Winnie the Pooh searching for honey, to the more dramatic, such as Christopher Robin becoming trapped under his bed. Some episodes spoofed published works of fiction, including Frankenstein and Sherlock Holmes. Episodes focused on socio-emotional issues dealing with topics such as teamwork, resourcefulness, how to triumph over challenges, the power of positive outlook, and the value of friendship. The series delivered strong messages about honesty, responsibility, persistence, cooperative effort, friendship, and caring. The morals taught in each story allow children to draw parallels to their own lives. Many stories are designed to help young children distinguish between fantasy and reality and overcome common childhood fears. Number 9, the awards. At the Cable Ace Awards, the series won for Children's Entertainment Series or Special for 8 and under. At the Parents' Choice Awards, the series won a Silver Seal Award, and the series also won 2 Golden Seal Awards. At the Action for Children's Television, the series won a Commercial Broadcast Award. At the Daytime Emmy Awards, the series won 2 awards, both for Outstanding Animated Program, and at the Humanitas Prize, the series won 2 awards for children's animation, one for the episode Find Her Keeper. The second episode was Home is Where the Home Is. Number 10, home media. Although Disney has never released the complete series on home video, there have been numerous video collections released over the years. The first was a collection of 10 video cassette tapes issued by Walt Disney Home Video. Each VHS contained 2 to 4 episodes, with the first 3 tapes released in 1989. This was followed by an additional 2 the next year, 1 more in 1991, and 4 more in 1992. 2 collections of compilation tapes called Pooh Playtime and Pooh Learning were released with 3 videotapes encompassing each set. The videos featured between 2 and 4 episodes of The New Adventures of Winnie the Pooh and featured new songs written by Dave Kinnan. Because of their success, 2 additional videos were added to each collection. A third collection entitled Pooh Friendship was released in 1997, bringing the 3 collections to 15 videos between them. The show first appeared on DVD in the United Kingdom. Under the title The Magical World of Winnie the Pooh, 8 volumes were released consisting of 4 episodes apiece. The first 5 volumes of this series later appeared in the United States under the name Growing Up with Winnie the Pooh. Appearing in February of 2005, the releases were made to coincide with the premiere of Pooh's Heffalump movie. These episodes did not include the original opening credits, but instead had new sequences specifically made for the discs. Episodes of the show have also been released as part of the special features in the DVD releases of Winnie the Pooh movies, such as the Tigger movie and Winnie the Pooh Springtime with Roo. The series became available on Disney Plus when the service launched on November 12, 2019. Number 11, The Impact and Legacy. The series helped launch a successful Winnie the Pooh media franchise, which grew into a series of made-for-TV holiday specials, 2 additional television series, that is The Book of Pooh, which we will be discussing later on with this series, and the other one is My Friends Tigger and Pooh. I have not seen that one. I've heard of it though, but it's mostly based for the preschool side of that time. And 4 theatrically released movies. The program caused a resurgence of popularity of Winnie the Pooh that continues to this day, to the point of the character being Disney's second largest franchise. Following the home-wide releases, Disney's annual revenue from Winnie the Pooh rose from $100 million to more than $1 billion in just 4 years. Winnie the Pooh is now the most successful Disney character, surpassing Mickey Mouse. In 2012, it was the 3rd most popular media franchise in the United States. And there you have it, all the facts to the new adventures of Winnie the Pooh. If you like this video, please hit that like button and don't forget to subscribe, and I hope you have a zippity-doo-dah day. Goodbye!